This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. 2 arrested in St. Elizabeth Ganja bust. Detectives assigned to the Narcotics Division seized approximately 345 pounds of compressed ganja at Ivor Cottage, Mountainside Black River in St. Elizabeth on Friday. 2 men were arrested and charged in relation to the seizure. Reports are that about 6 a.m., during a police operation, one white Nissan AD wagon was signaled to stop. During a search, a quantity of black plastic parcels containing vegetable matter resembling ganja was seen inside the car. The drugs have an estimated street value of $1,380,000 Jamaican dollars. Investigations are ongoing. 2 held after ganja seizure in Spurtree, Manchester. Detectives from the Police Narcotics Division seized approximately 669 pounds of compressed ganja in Spurtree, Manchester on Saturday, May 1. Reports are that about 10:45 a.m., a narcotics team supported by members of the Manchester Police Division was on operations in the Spurtree area in the parish when they intercepted an international tipper truck with 2 men aboard. During a search of the vehicle, 13 knitted plastic bags, all containing compressed ganja weighing approximately 669 pounds, were found. The drugs and the truck were seized and the driver and passenger were taken into custody. The drug had an estimated street value of $2.68 million. The names of the suspects are being withheld pending further investigations by the police. Policeman shot in Trelawny. A policeman is nursing injuries in hospital following a gun attack. The shooting happened last night in Trelawny. The constable, who is attached to the Clarendon Division, was shot in the chest and 1 in the arm. Jamaican imprisoned in Bahamas for fake immigration stamp. A Jamaican man has been sent to prison for 6 months in the Bahamas after he confessed to paying another man for a fake immigration stamp in his passport in a bid to extend his stay in that country. Orlando Brown, a 28-year-old resident of Clarendon in Jamaica, pleaded guilty to overstaying and being in possession of a forged immediately stamp. He appeared in a magistrate court in the Bahamas last week. In addition to being sentenced to 6 months in prison for possessing the fake immigration stamp, the Jamaican was also fined a Bahamian $1,000 with an alternative of 3 months in jail for overstaying his time in the country. Police reports are that on April 21, a team of immigration officers attached to the Residential Spouse Unit went to Brown's residence off Shirley Street in New Providence. An inspection was done by the officers, who later determined that all was well at the premises. But Brown's legal woes began when one of the officers asked him for his passport. The altered immigration stamp was subsequently found affixed to one of the pages of the booklet. When initially questioned about the stamp, the Jamaican claimed he got the stamp at the airport. Consequently, Brown, who claimed he was married to a Bahamian woman, was transported to a detention center for an interview. It was during the interview that he confessed that the stamp did not come from an official at the airport. Instead, he explained that in March 2019, he paid another Jamaican man, Bahamian $150 to get him the stamp. The court heard Brown left the country since that time and returned in January 2020 when he was given permission to stay for 1 month. At his court hearing, Brown declined to comment on the allegations against him. He was subsequently sentenced after his guilty pleas. A man rescued days after being dumped in pit in Spanish Town. A 66-year-old man was rescued from an underground pit in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Sunday morning by a team of personnel from the St. Catherine Fire Department. The rescue came more than 2 days after the man was dumped in the pit by gunmen who reportedly abducted and robbed him. Reports are that about 9:30 on Thursday night, George Smart of a Gregory Park, Portmore address in St. Catherine drove his Nissan AD wagon motorcar to Jones Avenue in Spanish Town to deliver a package, but was held up by 2 men armed with guns. He was abducted and robbed of an undetermined sum of money and his motor car and was taken to a section of the community where he was thrown into the underground pit and reportedly left under guard above the pit. About 7:30 on Sunday morning, the authorities were alerted to his presence in the pit, and firefighters and police personnel went to the location. Smart was removed from the pit about 9:30 a.m. and was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital for treatment. FLA to destroy unclaimed firearms. The Firearm Licensing Authority is reporting that it will embark on a firearm destruction project in June. Consequently, all firearms that have been left at the FLA for over 5 years without payment of the requisite storage fees will be destroyed. The authority says the project is in keeping with Section 45(5)(b) of the Firearms Act, which provides that firearms which have been stored at the FLA beyond 12 months without payment of the prescribed fees will be forfeited to the Crown. Therefore, all such firearms having been forfeited will be earmarked for destruction. Licensees of the FLA whose weapons are likely to be forfeited under this provision and who wish to reclaim their firearms should make contact with the authority before May 31 by calling 876-927-5158 or email fla@cwjamaica.com. Fisherman dies following shark attack in Westmoreland. A fisherman has died following a shark attack at sea on Saturday in Westmoreland. He has been identified as 53-year-old Donovan Haywood, otherwise called Doggy, who lived at Darling Street in Savanna-la-mar in the parish. It is reported that, shortly after 8 a.m., Haywood and a group of other fishermen set out from the community of Russia in Savanna-la-mar to go spearfishing off the shores of Little Bay in Little London. While underwater, Haywood was attacked by a large shark, which ripped off his left arm and inflicted several bite wounds to his upper body. It took his colleagues more than half an hour to free him from the clutches of the shark's mouth after shooting it. The shark swam away with Haywood's arm. He was taken ashore and rushed to the hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Residents of Savanna-la-mar told the news that the ordeal is the first such incident to occur in their community. 5 more COVID-19 deaths, 90 additional cases. Jamaica on Saturday recorded 5 more COVID-19 fatalities, pushing the tally to 784. The deceased are a 95-year-old female from Trelawny, a 93-year-old female and an 83-year-old female, both from St. Catherine, a 95-year-old female from Westmoreland, whose death was previously under investigation, and an 83-year-old female from St. Thomas, whose death was previously under investigation. Meanwhile, there were 90 new cases with ages ranging from 2 days to 95 years, pushing the total tally to 45,867, with 23,452 being active. Of the new cases, 39 are men and 51 are women. Kingston and St. Andrew dominate the new cases, with 18 being recorded, followed by St. Mary with 12 and then St. Catherine with 10. A total of 1,205 tests were conducted. The country's positivity rate stands at 12.7%. In the meantime, there were 140 more recoveries, increasing the total to 21,293. Some 213 persons are in hospital, with 14 being moderately ill and 22 critically ill. 7 persons are in government quarantine, while 25,056 are at home. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.